Hello, my name is Lauren Walter, and I serve as the Atlanta Fellow for Ignite National, and I'm excited to be discussing some key facts that you should know when voting here in Georgia. Today, we'll be talking about the following. What's the deadline to register to vote? What are the guidelines for vote by mail? Who is running for U.S. House of Representatives and U.S. Senate? And what are some of the statewide propositions and what they do? So deadlines in Georgia. The registration deadline to vote in the general election has passed. It was October 5th. But if you are not registered to vote, you can register to vote today. You just won't be able to vote in this upcoming general election on November 3rd, 2020. For absentee ballot deadlines, in order to receive an absentee ballot, you must request the absentee ballot no later than October 30th. If you would like to return your absentee ballot by mail, it must be postmarked by November 3rd by 7 p.m. If you decide to return that ballot in person, it must be returned no later than November 3rd by 7 p.m. on general election day. For early voting, it has begun. It began on October 12th and it ends on October 30th, but dates and times vary, so I suggest Googling your precinct that you will be voting at in order to ensure that you go at the right time and date. Awesome. So how to vote by mail in Georgia. All registered voters will be sent a vote by mail ballot for the November 3rd, 2020 general election. Registered voters do not have to apply for a vote by mail ballot for this election. First, you'll have to fill out your ballot. After you voted, insert your ballot in an envelope that has been provided, and you have to make sure that you complete all required information on the envelope for your ballot to be counted. You may return your voted ballot by mail, in person, or to a drop box, which you can look up to see where the official drop boxes are located. If you're returning your ballot by mail, it must be postmarked on or before Election Day and received by your county elections office no later than 15 days after Election Day, so 15 days after November 3rd, 2020. If you're returning your ballot in person or dropping it in a drop box, it must be delivered no later than the close of the polls at 8 p.m. on November 3rd. Anyone may return your ballot for you as long as you do not pay them to do that. In order for your ballot to be counted, you have to fill out the authorization section found on the outside of your ballot envelope. So for the U.S. House of Representatives, they're up for re-election. And here we've provided the names of who's running for senator. We have the Democratic candidates, the Republican candidates, and the independent candidates. So I would suggest looking to see who these individuals are before you cast your vote. Awesome. So now we'll be discussing the propositions in Georgia. So first is HR 164, which is the Georgia Dictating Tax and Free Revenue Amendment. HR 1023 is the Georgia Allow Residents to Seek Declaratory Relief from Certain Laws Amendment, and HB 344, which is the Georgia Property Tax Exemption for Certain Charities measure. Awesome. So HR 164, the Georgia Dictating Tax and Free Revenue Amendment. What does this mean? So a yes vote supports authorizing the Georgia legislature to dictate tax or free revenue to the public purpose for which the taxes or fees were imposed. The amendment would authorize the Georgia State Legislature to pass legislation establishing special funds with dedicated revenue sources to fund statute-specific projects. Statutes that impose such taxes and fees must reference this amendment and identify the government agency responsible for administrating the revenue in its text. HR 1023, it talks about Georgia allowing residents to seek declaratory relief from certain laws amendment. So a yes vote would mean supporting waiving the state's sovereign immunity and allowing residents to seek declaratory relief from state and local laws that violate the Constitution of Georgia, the US Constitution, or state law. Awesome. So HB 34. What is HB 34? So Georgia property tax exemption for certain charities measure. So if you cast a yes vote, that would mean you support exempting from property taxes owned by a 501c3 public charity if the property is owned exclusively for the purpose of building or repairing single-family homes and the charity provides interest-free financing to the individuals purchasing the home. Awesome. So that's all we have for today. I must note that there has been a delay in receiving absentee ballots, specifically in Gwinnett County. So if you are experiencing that delay, I highly suggest going to your county commission's website to track your ballot. And I also suggest visiting us on ignitenational.org, where you can meet Sophia Bott, who can plan a voting plan specific to where you live and where you're going to vote. So thank you very much. Go vote your voice and please reach us with any questions. Thank you.